class captain first for the visiting Placer High School. Number 3, Josh Maxwell. Number 9, Ashley Jr. Number 60, Corey. And number 66, Andrew Epstein. For the Panthers, our captain number 6, Leslie. Number 25, Brandon Chanel. Number 57, Nathan Corey. And number 62, Zach Bassett. Please turn your attention out of midfield football. The Panthers will receive first. For the kicking game, number 53, Jackson Harris.
No way we're not beating this up. Let's go, Sons! Damn, that guy's good. Yeah, they have a lot of drop talent. Maybe it was forward momentum.
So here we go, 2nd and 6. That's the end of the quarter. The score pass for 14, West Park Panthers. Hey folks, the West Park Panthers would like to take a shot volunteers. Check it out, was Sisson from the intended receiver. Touchdown, Panthers! 15-yard scamper without Barstow. That's what we do. On the extra point, cadences. Wendy, City. Kay Baker. Number 42 is the Jonathan Warner. This will bring up the third and 12. Well, the 25-yard line, first and 10 there for the Hillmen.
Let's go, Sogs!
Credit Jackson. It's up and good. So that makes our score. The Hillmen 21, the Panthers 7. 25-yard reception there. It's Jordan Archstead. Ball is 15. First and 10 for the Panthers. Yeah, it looks like they can steal the first one. Well done, check that.
There you go.
There is a flag on the field. Less than way there. Flag for the Louis against the KAHI. So be second and 18 for the Hillmen. Last play to 25. Under 2 minutes to go in the half. Timeout, Placer. Shimon attacking. Ball to 33, first 10 to go. We have a minute to go before now. Ball goes incomplete. Weston Lee there defensively for the Panthers.
Almost there.
But that ball is intended for Josh Maxwell. So here we have it, second and 10. 44 seconds to go. The ball carrier. Timeout, Placer. 31 seconds to go. Here we go, second and 1, 31 seconds to go. Now. Incomplete. The corner of the end zone. Intended for either way. Ball goes complete. Sisson was there defensively. That corner of the end zone. Here we go, 24 seconds. Third and 1. Suggs over the right side. Good enough for the first down. Opportunity. The Ravens knock the ball. Flag on the field.
Or it's a no, correct. Sideline celebration.
Sideline lightning.
Yeah, sideline ring. They do not like us. Let me tell you, the refs. No.
First down and 10. We have 16 seconds to go.
It's only if you get two sideline warnings and you get yards off. The first ones are more on the preview.
Ball is incomplete. Heavy pressure on number 32, Wesley Ogarante. Michael Pinto there defensively as well, putting that pressure on. 12 seconds left.
What are they going to call here? It's got to be a pass. Going to Tabs.
Second and 10, here we go. quarterback keeper. They kept him in bounds. That's the end of the first half. Our score, the Hillmen 21, the Panthers 7.
They gave it to Suggs. A nice job coming up from his linebacker spot by Cameron Holcomb, number 10. It looks like the linebackers are selling out to stop the run, and that doesn't happen too often. That Placer turns, gives it to Suggs, and they get no yardage.
Yeah, they still have a 3rd-and-1 situation now, though, and if you're right, if they are selling out to stop that initial thrust, then we're going to have Alexic or Kelly will probably get the ball.
As they go to their power look, and they give it to Suggs, and Suggs runs into the linebacker core, but not before he's picked up 5 yards all the way out to the 34. A new look, a little bit of a new wrinkle. They put Baylor Kelly and Costa Lexic as lead blockers for Jaden Suggs. Suggs picks up the first down.
Yeah, Suggs, you're exactly right, Scott. Suggs with a little bit of off-tackle run rather than the straight up the middle that he usually does, and picked up the yardage that they needed.
Very similar last week. They came out against Nevada Union and were very heavy to Jaden Suggs on their first drive of the second half. Looks like they might be doing the same thing here. This time they give it. First back through is Costa Alexic. Alexic will pick up about 3, maybe 4. Ball was spotted at the 34. They'll mark him up at about the 37. It'll be 2nd and 7.
And so far it does look like that's what Placer's mindset is. Go out there and reestablish the dominance that you enjoyed in the first half. And West Park almost kind of like knowing that it's coming, and they've got to go ahead. They know if they don't stop Placer here, they put themselves in a really big hole.
They gave him 4 yards on the pickup, so it'll be 2nd and 6. Ball spotted at the 38 of their own Placer. They're going left to right on your radio dial. They hand it to the second back through. It's Costa Alexic. Flag down on the play. Might be a chop block back here against number 66, Xander Esty. Nonetheless, the play was well defended. Tackle made after just a short pickup.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be a 10-yarder, so we'll have that second down again, but it'll be 16 yards to go instead of 6. And as you mentioned, that's about the 5th or 6th penalty, I think. I don't remember one penalty on West Park yet so far, so they're playing a very clean game, but Placer been flagged a couple of times for that offensive line.
2 holes, 2 offsides, and 1 chop block. You're exactly right, Phantom. 5 penalties, and that'll push them back against the sticks. So that'll bring up looks like it's a spot penalty, so they move them back beyond about 2nd and 13.
Yeah, they got it at the 34. They've got to get to the, looks like they have to get to the 44.
They give it to Alexic, who hands it off to Baylor Kelly on the inside trap play. Good hard running in there. He's brought down, but not until he gets into the secondary with Weston Wade, and they like that play a lot, where they send Costa Alexic in motion, hand it to him. He hands it to Baylor Kelly. Kind of a counter play, and he picks up a good 7 yards. That makes it a makeable 3rd and 3 for the Placer Hillmen.
Yeah, big 7-yard gain gives them a couple more options they're going to play. I don't think on this side of the 50 you play a 4-down territory, but let's see what Joy Montoya pulls out on 3rd and 4 here.
8:50 to play here in the third quarter. First drive of the second half for Placer. 3rd and 4, ball spotted at the 41. Placer leading this one 21-7. They're going to turn around, give it to Alexic. He easily picks up the first down. West Park looking for the strip, but not before they actually get it all the way into West Park's territory, and we do have an injured Panther laying back at the line of scrimmage. Placer went with a different look. They only had one back in the backfield. That was Costa Alexic, and he picked up the first down easily, but we have a West Park player injured down on the field, and he has just taken his helmet off.
Yeah, hopefully he's going to be okay. A little surprised over that 3rd and 4, how easy it was to pick out that first down for the Hillmen. Like you say, just with the single back, giving it to Alexic, but great job by the offensive line to clear it out for him. And another time so far here in this game tonight that Placer has overcome their own mistakes, their own penalties, and going ahead and got the first down.
Injured player was number 42, Jonathan Martin, one of the linebackers. He gets up. Good to see him put his helmet on and jog to the sideline. Nonetheless, Placer, which drive started at the 20, now has it at the 45-yard line of West Park. Their 5th possession. So far, West Park has not been able to answer this rushing attack.
Yeah, and then, as we said, the Placer's put themselves behind the 8 ball a couple of times with penalties, and as we mentioned in the first half, a sack, but they've always been able, the Hillmen have always been able to overcome them.
This time they put Costa Alexic out in the route, and they have Suggs, who they turn, they fake it to, and guess what? This is the Josh Maxwell around the edge and he's got it all the way down to the 20, the 10, the 5, and there's a penalty flag down on the play, and they're going to take back what would have been a 45-yard touchdown run by Josh Maxwell. But as you pointed out, there's a pink penalty flag down, and number 50, Mason Yoakum, is litigating his case, and it's going to be coming back.
We talked about it on the last time. Remember, in the first time they ran that play today, it looked like they might have gotten away with something, and that time it was right out in the middle of everybody, and that flag came in right away.
The 6th penalty of the game against the Placer Hillmen, and that one negates a 45-yard touchdown run by Josh Maxwell. It was a block in the back, and Maxwell, again, the 3rd time they've run that tight end sweep around. You can kind of tell when they put Costa Alexic out here, the big running back, the junior, to be the lead blocker. Nonetheless, it negates it. It'll bring up a 1st and 15.
Yeah, it would have probably been a first down without the penalty because the block was that far downfield, but that penalty, that block was the one that sprung Maxwell to go all the way.
They actually say it's a 1st and 13, so the ball will be at the 48 of West Park. Craycraft over center, turns around, gives it to Costa Alexic, who was the only back in formation, and he picks up about 5 yards. So now we're seeing another wrinkle to the running attack, and that's Costa Alexic as the lone back, 2 tight ends, an offset line, and they pick up 5 yards.
Yeah, do you get the feeling that during this past week that Joey Montoya was in the laboratory a little bit and he was pulling stuff out, getting beakers and pouring them into other things? Because it does seem like he's come out with a couple of totally different looks than we've seen all season.
I have a sense that the car engine is completely cool, that he was working the entire week.
Yes, exactly.
2nd and 8. Ball is at the 43-yard line of West Park. Baylor Kelly goes in motion. They give it to him. He's caught the line of scrimmage. He'll pick up maybe a yard, but really West Park really selling out against the run, and they got a little penetration there. And really Kelly, I think, might have picked up 1.
Yeah, kind of a slow developing play right there. Kelly with the handoff, but he was kind of right up on the other back that had gone ahead of him and slowed him down a little bit. So West Park was able to get in and stop him before he got any momentum going, really.
They faked it to Suggs. Suggs might have picked up a couple, gave it to the second back through Kelly. He got a yard, so it is 3rd and 7. The ball's at the 42. 6:55 to go. Opening drive of the second half. Placer leading it 21-7. And Phantom, you get the sense this is a huge 3rd down for both sides. And they run the little reverse play around again, and this time they give it to Isaiah Hanley, and Hanley's going to pick up the first down. A good job of peeling back and making a block that time was Mason Yoakum, and he kept it clean, and in the front, a little peel back block, and nonetheless, they ran the play that they've been running to Maxwell, but they run it to Hanley. He picks up the first down.
And a real clean block out here, as you mentioned. And I saw Baylor Kelly out there, and he was right in the middle of that. It looked like he was walking a little gingerly, but he is back in the huddle and still on the field.
Ball goes all the way down to the 32. First down, Hillmen. They send Costa Alexic in motion. He turns, he gives it to Jaden Suggs, and Suggs is brought down at the line of scrimmage. And a nice job defensively by the tight end, who also doubles as a defensive end, Jordan Morris, number 33. Suggs is actually going to lose a yard. That's the second time tonight they've given it to Suggs on a quick hitter, and they've gone for negative yardage.
As you pointed out, though, it looked like that was kind of a sellout by the defensive line. I wouldn't be surprised if that play is faked in the next quarter and a half, and we see that play again with Suggs going up the middle without the ball.
Placer eating up a lot of time, 5 minutes and 48 seconds. They give it to Costa Alexic around the counter, and he gets deep into West Park territory. He picks up about 7 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd and 3. Ball is down to the 26-yard line of West Park.
I think I'm going to call him Costa 7-yard Alexic, because it seems like every time he gets the handoff, he is good for 7 yards. We talk about his style. It's shifty. It's also slashing in that case.
And powerful.
That's exactly what he did. And he gives the offense now, instead of being, a 3rd and 10, it's now a 3rd and 3, a 3rd and 4. Gives you so many more options, and I definitely do think this is 4-down territory.
And he's gone around the left side each time. This time they're in their traditional wing tee. They give it to Alexic, who gives it to Kelly. And Kelly looks like he is going to have the first down. And they're going to wave the sticks forward. Let's see. Waiting for the official move here. And it is a first down. So more clock continues to go, as Placer has now run over 7 minutes on their opening drive of the second half. It's 4:55 to play here in the third quarter. Hillmen leading at 21-7, and a first down pickup that time by Baylor Kelly.
And good job by West Park in the sense that Baylor Kelly really hasn't popped one today. He does that all the time. We've seen him do it all season. He really hasn't been able to do that. He gets 4, he gets 5, but he hasn't been able to put together the big run that he always has.
Placer going left to right on your radio dial. Kiefer Abbs set out left. They give it to Costa Alexic inside, and guess what? He picked up about 6 or 7 as he continues to carry defenders. So we might have to change his name from Costa 7 to Costa 8, as it looks like he got 8 on that carry.
No, we're going to keep it Costa 7 right now. We'll go ahead.
But he got 9.
Okay, all right, sure.
You want to argue with me?
I don't know why. I make up nicknames and you want to argue about it.
I just
make
want
up your own nicknames.
Fact-based. Okay, come on with
all
your own stuff.
You can't just change it every time he does a play.
Well, he is number 6.
Okay, there you go. Oh, so now wants to be 6-yard. Okay.
Just trying to be accommodating.
I think you are. The opposite, my friend, the opposite.
So another sending a player over to the sidelines. This a couple times tonight the refs have sent over. That's Brandon Cheney, the captain, the middle linebacker for Placer. And the refs, if they notice an injury or an equipment issue, can send him to the side. They're doing a little evaluation to make sure he's okay. But he is the defensive captain. It's 2nd and 1.
Yeah, and the top tackler too, I believe. So that's a big loss to have out there right now, just even if hopefully for a down for his sake.
Ball's on the left hash, 2nd and 1. They give it to Jaden Suggs. He breaks through the line of scrimmage, and he gets all the way down to the 5-yard line. Great job of pushing down the field by the Placer front. Josh Maxwell also heavily involved in pushing the linebackers back, as that's the Jaden Suggs we're used to seeing. Big first down run there.
Yeah, and we're in the situation now with the clock being what it is in the situation on the field. You just don't want Placer. You don't want him to get a holding penalty, something like that now, because they've got everything going in their favor, and they've got the momentum, and they're getting here almost taking 9 minutes off the clock.
3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. First and goal at the 5. They give it to Suggs. Suggs is carrying tacklers, and he reaches out. He's in the end zone for a touchdown. His 3rd touchdown of the night. And man, Phantom, Placer took the ball and ran over 8 minutes and 40 seconds of clock. Every single play on the ground had to go against a couple penalties, and Jaden Suggs punches in his 3rd touchdown of the night, his 14th of the season.
Yeah, we talked about reasserting that dominance that you had in the first half, and it was like for the linemen, it was like nothing ever changed. They came in against the wind. Maybe that's why they didn't take the ball to the air, and a bunch of different plays, a bunch of different runners, Maxwell included. So the 4-headed monster strikes again, maybe the 4 horsemen.
Jackson Ramirez on for the extra point. Max Joyner puts it down. Kick is up, and it is good. The refs nod at each other. So Placer's had the ball 5 times tonight, 5 drives. They've scored on 4 of them, and they just ran out of time at the end of first half.
And if you look at the clock, that means 8 minutes and 49 seconds, I believe, would be the number that they just took off the clock. and I hope they put that extra point up there because they haven't put it up there just yet. So that's 8:49 they took off the clock and put 6 or hopefully 7 points on the board.
And West Park has not had the ball yet in the second half, and already they come down. It is 28-7. They have not updated saw both refs say yes, it was good.
It looks like they did, yeah. I thought they did as well.
We'll get a correction on that as Jackson Ramirez, who just kicked the extra point,
we think,
is fourth of the night. Well, he kicked it. We're just not going to have confirmation he made it or not.
It looked like it was. And remember, as you pointed out, this is the side of the field where they had a real good return last time because the kick was knocked down by the wind. So let's see if Placer can do a little bit better job on coverage or whether they do a different kind of a kick.
Jackson Ramirez to kick. His kick is brought to you by Auburn Trophies. You can find them at 1221 Grass Valley Highway in the Fiddler Green Plaza. The kick is back. It is fielded at the 2. Pretty good kick. Return comes up. It'll be Chima. Chima's got some room around the left side, and he'll get all the way up. Now he's still breaking tackles, reverses his field. He's going to the right, and he's got a whole host of green territory there. Baylor Kelly finally drags him down, but Baylor Kelly, that was a touchdown-saving tackle, Phantom, at the 42.
Yeah, they had him down here, like you said, about the 30 or 35-yard line. He was just inches away from the out of bounds, stopped away, reversed field, and picked up another 20 yards or so. So West Park couldn't ask for anything better on that. And I guess Ramirez's kick was ruled no good because they haven't put a point up there yet.
Big return for West Park. They'll have a short field. They need it. They trail by 20. It's 27-7. Usually after Jackson Ramirez misses an extra point, he kicks a touchback. Came close that time. This time Barksdale the throw, and he is taken down. Ball comes loose. It's Colin Bray. Third time tonight that he beat the tackle around the end. A big first down stop by Eric Rodarti's defense.
Yeah, that was one time. You could see him coming around there from our angle. You could see he wasn't letting anything get in his way that time, and he got to Barksdale clean. The big sack sets up looks like a 2nd and 16 now, and that's just what Placer wanted to do. You get one play, you get a real nice kick return, come back on that next play and knock him down a little bit.
Like a heat-seeking missile coming around the edge there. Barksdale stood up in the shotgun. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. He's going to step up this time. He's got some room. He's going to run, and he's going to get up to about the 40-yard line. Pickup of about 7 yards. It'll make it a 3rd and 9. Good coverage downfield by the Placer Hillmen. He had nowhere to throw, stepped up and picked up 7.
Yeah, and you feel like the defensive backs are going to do what they can do, and I think that in the middle of the field they're going to get into a contain mode with Barksdale as time is still ticking off the clock, and they don't want him to hurt him with the big run.
1:47 to play in the third quarter. Placer leading at 27-7. Barksdale this time back to pass. He's looking left the whole way. Hit as he throws. It's intercepted. That looks like number 6, Costa Alexic. 3rd interception of the night, but really the interception is caused because Barksdale was under pressure, hit as he's thrown. The 3rd interception for the Placer Hillmen.
Yeah, definitely a pressure interception, and I don't think that West Park has faced the kind of defensive pressure that they faced here tonight against Placer. And I'll tell you, Placer really, they went down there, they scored right away, and that first play we saw right after the kickoff return, Bray gets to the quarterback, and it's kind of like he showed his teammates how to get there, and they really took the lesson well right there.
DeVell Barksdale, who's known for his smile, just came to the sidelines and threw his helmet. So now the Placer Hillmen have it again. They give it to Baylor Kelly. Correction, Costa Alexic, the second man through, and looks like he has a pickup of about 8 yards. Correction, that might have been Enzo Gallo with his first carry of the game.
Gallo has had a couple of really good games as far as coming in and being like a second-team running back. I think he had a couple of touchdowns in a game earlier this season, so not really a surprise to see him in there and give some of the other guys a blow. Like you say, they're playing both ways. Take a little break here.
This time they give it to the first back through. It's Jaden Suggs. Suggs picks up the first down, and they're already in West Park territory. The ball will be at the 46. And West Park is clearly frustrated as they're pushing everybody back, and Joey Montoya is not happy with what's happening. Play the whistle. The whistle blew about 3 or 4 seconds ago.
Absolutely right. Suggs is, as we talked about, very difficult to bring down, but once the whistle is blown, you're supposed to stop, and that was not the case right there, and another first down for the Hillmen.
And the clock keeps moving as the chains keep moving. Placer leading this one 27-7. They led 21-7 at halftime. 51.8 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Ball is at the 45-yard line of West Park. And you feel like if West Park's going to have a chance at all, they need to get a stop here. Nonetheless, they turn, give it to the second back through Costa Alexic. He breaks a tackle at the 42. A great job of breaking a tackle, spinning ahead, and it looks like he has another first down for Placer.
Yeah, and every time he runs the ball, it seems like, or every game, we see a different facet of him as a running back. You know, we talk about shiftiness. Now we're talking about strength, breaking tackles. That was like a pirouette move that he did right there and got himself about 5 or 6 extra yards with it.
Seems like every time he's going over the left side, they've got something they like over there with the matchup.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the last play of the third quarter. They're just going to let this run its way out, and we'll turn it around, and they'll be going with the win for that fourth quarter with the ball.
Well, as the final seconds tick off, that means Placer won the third quarter 6-0. They led 21-7 at the half. At the end of 3, they lead this one 27-7. We're going to step aside as we get ready for the fourth quarter of Placer football, leading this one 27-7 over West Park. You're listening to Placer football on 104.5 FM and AM 950, the voice of the Foothills.
Thank you for your contribution this season. We appreciate your unconditional support for your family. Go Josh! Go Josh! Christian Del Mastro, please see you open the booth. Down, up there waiting for Christian Del Mastro. We go 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
This time they give it to Baylor Kelly around the edge on the sweep. He breaks a tackle at the 30, and then he shifts into that other gear and takes it all the way down to the 20. And Baylor Kelly, for the first time around the outside, really getting to see his speed, the elusiveness at the 30 to break the tackle, and then that second gear the sophomore has to take it down to the 20.
Yeah, as you mentioned, that was kind of the first time he got around the outside clean, and it was surprising because I thought a couple of the West Park guys jumped off sides before that snap, but Kelly got himself outside and showed what he could do when you give him a little bit of room.
10:55 to play in the fourth quarter. Placer 8-0, 3-0 in league, leading this one 28-7. They put Kelly in motion. They hand it to him the second back through. No, they pull it out, throw it, but there's a flag down on the play. Play action, they go to, looks like Joyner would have been a touchdown, but this one's coming back.
Another time where Placer shot themselves in the foot and they've wasted like 3 of the best plays they've done all year tonight with penalties. And that one, as you say, they did a couple of fakes. Everybody was faked out, and a perfect pass by Craycraft.
Illegal chop block against the defense. It is declined. The first touchdown of the year, it looks like, for Joyner, and we were wrong on that. What a great job. So Placer actually fakes it to Suggs, fakes it to Bailey, and Craycraft throws his 13th touchdown of the season, and Joyner, running unattended, picks up the touchdown. Correction, it was number 3, Josh Maxwell, as Joyner jogs on the field to hold for the extra point. And don't look now, but Placer leads this one 34-7 with Jackson Ramirez on to kick his 5th extra point.
There you go. We just got the last one accredited a minute ago, so now he has to put another one up there.
Joyner to hold, he gets it down. Good hold, kick is up, and it is good.
We know it's good.
Both
yes, it
guys
is good.
had good.
Yeah, we got to give a little more credit to that touchdown play. We kind of underplayed that because we thought it was a penalty, but what a fine piece of ball handling by Josh Craycraft. And Maxwell has been, as we talked about a couple of times, he has been more of a focal point today than he's been since the last 6 weeks, I'll say. And I don't know if Coach Joey Montoya was saving him for this, but every time Maxwell is involved in a play, it seems like it's a big one tonight.
Well, one of the touchdowns taken off the board, and you're right, we thought the penalty, because West Park hasn't been penalized all night, that one was coming back. Nonetheless, so the first 5 games of the year, Phantom, Maxwell had 10 catches. He came into this game with 11, which means he only had 1 the last 3, but tonight he's had 3 good runs and 2 phenomenal catches.
Fantastic job, and now we're going to kick the ball with the wind. Let's see which one of our kickers we're going to use.
Not an easy throw to make in the wind that time by Craycraft. Put the right amount of touch on it. It'll be the right footer, Martinez Medina. All kickoffs are brought to you by Auburn Trophies. You can find them at auburntrophies.com, and that one is a touchback with the win, the second one of the night for Martinez Medina. And with 10:41 to play in the fourth quarter, it is all Placer, 35-7.
And that's what you want to do. Is the one thing that one spark that West Park has got has been in the kickoff return category, and you want to take that away from him, and that's just what he did just there.
So for Jason Tenner, the head coach in his 3rd year at West Park, who's got a 7-0 record, 3-0 record in the league. Yes, you'd love to win this game, but you actually want to find out, this is gut check time for your team. You trail by 28 with 10 minutes to go in the game. What are they going to do? As senior quarterback DeVell Barksdale takes the snap, throws the quick slant. That's to Sisson, number 9. Good catch, and he's thrown down on the play. Tackle made by linebacker Josh Maxwell.
Yeah, we don't want to get too far into the weeds, but let's assume that Placer's got this one with the 4-touchdown lead. You know, West Park is still looking to get a high seed in Division 4, which is where they would probably drop down to if they don't win the league. So they want a high seed. They don't want a situation on their resume when they've got a blowout loss. So they need to put some points on the board here to try to help themselves in the postseason.
And I've had 2 drives into the red zone of Placer. One that was a turnover, one for a touchdown. This time they turn. They give it inside, running back. Huge hole up the middle. This time it's Weston Wade. And Wade's going to go all the way down the 20, to 15, to 10, to 5. He's in the end zone for a touchdown. You talk about an answer. A 61-yard touchdown run, 51-yard touchdown run by Weston Wade, the junior. And they very quickly cut the lead, 35 down to 13.
Yeah, and they tell everybody in the Hillman camp that, hey, this one is not over yet. And I don't know if that's the first time he's carried, but that's the first time that Weston Wade, who has had a tremendous season so far, that's the first time he's had any amount of room tonight, and maybe one of his first carries, and he really turned in a beautiful run for the Panthers.
Came into the game 36 carries for 386 yards and 6 touchdowns as Cade Vickers kicks the extra point, and that one's through. That was a 61-yard touchdown run unofficially. So just when we're starting to nail the coffin, it opens up as West Park, who can score quick, who can score in spurts, gets a quick touchdown and trails now just by 21. And you have to wonder, with their inability to stop this Placer offense, do they look to the onside kick for their offense to get the ball? Because so far, Placer's had it 6 times and scored on 5.
Yeah, and there's really no downside for them if it doesn't work, because, I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. They've got to do something to make up 3 touchdowns in 10 minutes, and so they've got to do something quick. And against the win especially, I mean, if they kick it deep, it's not going to go as deep as they think it's going to go, so you would think this is a perfect situation for it, and they do have a little bit of momentum on their side after Wade's 61-yard touchdown run.
Well, Placer definitely thinks an onside kick is coming as they have their hands team up. 10 minutes and 1 second to play here in the fourth quarter. Placer leading at 35-14 over West Park, that just had their most explosive play of the night. And so they now have a true kicker in Cade Vickers. He's not like he's a wide receiver or something else. He's just a kicker. So we'll see what they decide to do here. They kick it deep, and whistles are blown. The play is blown dead, and you wonder what the call is here.
I don't know that I've ever seen whistles blow right after the kick was made.
Wonder if somebody didn't call a timeout.
If they were thinking about doing an onside kick, you'd think maybe they would. Probably not a situation where they're going to try to save them or save their timeouts.
And Jason Tenner's asking the same question. What happened? We just kicked it off, and now he's smiling. So there's no penalty flag. It was just almost like an inadvertent whistle.
Yeah, there's no nothing. And he went down there, and it wasn't really an onside kick, but Vickers didn't try to put the whole foot into it. It was kind of a chip shot, and it was going to be handled by the Hillmen quite easily down here at about the 25 or 30-yard line.
Well, Cade Vickers conferring with Weston Wade, who just had the 61-yarder. Baylor Kelly fielded that kick that really didn't take place. So take two, as they say in Hollywood. This one is a low squib along the ground. It'll be picked up by Baylor Kelly at the 25. He runs to the right side, breaks the tackle at the 30s, up past the 35, runs out of bounds at about the 37. So not an onside kick, just a low squib into the wind, and probably a smart kick.
Yeah, probably, but I would think that in that situation, the way he did that pretty well. I think you might maybe want to direct that to somebody up a little bit closer to you, because as we said, time is of the essence for you here. Maybe you get a kind of an inadvertent bounce or kind of a ricochet off somebody, and you get that onside kick situation.
And that kickoff was brought to you by Auburn Trophies. You can find them at 1221 Grass Valley Highway in the Fither Green Plaza. So with 9:55 to play, Placer's got the ball in the right hash. It'll be at the 39. They'll turn, give it up to Costa Alexic. Correction, that's Jaden Suggs is the ball carrier. There's a penalty flag down on the play. We'll see what that is.
Another situation where a good running play, and they drop the flag, and let's see if they put Placer behind the sticks here to start off this drive.
Both teams have their full allotment of timeouts. It is a holding call, the third one tonight against the Hillmen, and all of these they've had a chop block, 3 holes, and 2 illegal procedures. The only penalty against West Park was the chop block on the defense that was actually declined. So this will bring it back 1st and 18.
Yeah, and obviously you don't want this to happen because, that's an easy way for West Park to get a stop on you. If you put yourself back behind the sticks, 1st and 18, 1st and 20, they're going to go ahead and probably run the ball a couple of times to try to run some time off the clock, but you don't want to put yourself back there because they had a really nice gain on that first down.
Ball's taken all the way back to the 32 in Hillman territory. They break the huddle. 2 backs behind Craycraft. He turns, gives it to Maxwell on the end around, but they're going to blow it. They have a flag down. Maxwell breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle. He's got it all the way down to the 18, so this is that end around play.
Incredible.
To the tight end, the fourth time we've seen it tonight. 2 for big gains. 1 was a touchdown that was negated. Let's see what the call is. Is it on West Park? It'll take it all the way down. Placer will have it in the red zone. If it's against Placer, it's going to negate a 40-yard run. Yeah,
it's another big play, another Maxwell play that I think is going to be called back. That penalty was dropped right at the snap, it looked like, which could be offsides, but I don't think that's what it's going to be.
Might be an illegal shift or an illegal procedure with the tight end getting it on the end around. Nonetheless, it's coming back and it's on Placer. Sure enough, it is a legal procedure. And they let the play go, which means it actually was an illegal shift. 2 guys moving at the same time. So now instead of 1st and 18, it's going to be further back than that.
Yeah, and it's a situation where I think the Placer faithful now, they're just going, not saying the penalties are right or wrong, just saying, well, it's kind of 9-1 or something like that, and they're
it's
kind
8-1 officially.
Noticing the discrepancy there in the flag count.
I'm sure Coach Montoya and the staff are reminding them of that. This game is being played at West Park. It's a beautiful fall night. This is a beautiful setting to come watch high school football. The West Park stands are full. They even had a kind of velvet curtain guy walking as you can get into the press box here.
Well, I went to the restroom in halftime and I almost got lost because I went around the art gallery and by the ballroom. So there was a couple other places over there that I almost got lost.
I thought you were taking that a different direction. Nonetheless, 1st and 25 at the 29. They give it to Costa Alexic. Picks up about 4 yards, and there's a late flag that comes in here. I think this one might go the other direction. We had Penalty Island one night. Hopefully we don't see that again here in the fourth quarter with Placer leading 35-14.
Yeah, we've had some hitting after the whistle, or right after the whistle. Let's see if that's what the case was again.
It's a personal foul targeting against West Park, and I think this comes with an automatic first down. As you mentioned, Placer's been running and taking on the tacklers afterwards, and they just ran up and just took a shot at Costa Alexic.
Yeah, especially Jaden Suggs, as we talked about. He's so hard to bring down. It takes 2 or 3 guys, and then you get the guys. And they do that thing now that I don't really like. They allow the offensive linemen and stuff to go ahead and push you. And when they got the push in one side and the piling on for another, you got to go ahead and play the whistle, or that's going to be a disaster. And that's a big penalty on West Park right there.
Never been a fan of the scrum because you can get hurt on either side. Nonetheless, that takes it all the way up to the 49-yard line. It'll be first down for Placer. They'll turn. This is the end around to Maxwell again. This time there's no flag. He takes it past the 40, the 35, breaks the tackle, got it all the way down to the 30-yard line. And what a new wrinkle in the offense. As you said, the mad scientist Joey Montoya has pulled out a new play. He's run it 5 times tonight to Josh Maxwell, each time successfully.
Yeah, a couple of penalties on it, but still, we're going to have to talk to him on the coaches show next week and have him diagram this play, because I don't know, it keeps working. It always works. 21-yard pickup
as Placer's moving right to left on your radio dial. The ball is set on the right hash. 1st and 10 at the 30. 8:25 to go in the fourth quarter. Placer leading it by 21. And if you're West Park, you got to start thinking about stripping, trying to get a turnover or something. This time they give it to the first back through. It's Jaden Suggs, and Suggs picks up a solid 8 yards on first down. Yeah, they were going. The Panthers were kind of putting a little something together thanks to some mistakes by the Hillmen, but that targeting call, I think, really set them back on their heels, because Placer was going to have trouble getting a first down on this possession if it wasn't for that penalty. And now, with a couple of big plays, they're knocking on the door again. They're going to mark it at 7 yards, bring up a 2nd and 3. Craycraft, who jogs to the sideline for every play from Coach Montoya, comes back in. Dash Tebbs, the receiver, will be set out left by himself. Ball spotted on the right hash, 23-yard line, 2nd and 3. Hillmen driving inside Panther territory. Baylor Kelly goes in motion. They give it to Jaden Suggs. Huge hole over the right side, and he is literally carrying defenders as they try to punch the ball loose. But he picks up a first down, and they'll have it all the way down to the 13-yard line, and they are inside the red zone again. Yeah, not to take anything away from anybody else, but this has been a real Jaden Suggs, Josh Maxwell kind of thing as far as running tough and pulling big plays out. And as you mentioned, Suggs is a real target for people trying to punch the ball out with that 2nd, 3rd, or 4th tackler comes in. And to his credit, he is really holding on to it tight tonight, because that's the only thing really that could derail the Hillmen at this point. 6'4", 230 pounds. He has 3 rushing touchdowns tonight, probably getting close to over 100 yards. It's been Costa Alexic, Jaden Suggs, and really Josh Maxwell. They'll give it to Baylor Kelly on the sweep. He breaks the tackle. He's going to go into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the night. And what looked like it was going to be a tackle for loss in the backfield is actually instead going to go into the end zone from 15 yards out. And Baylor Kelly, the sophomore, just put Placer up 41-14. And that's one reason, as we've talked about many times, why the Hillmen are so great. We talk about Suggs, and then we're mentioning Costa Alexic, and all of a sudden here comes Baylor Kelly saying, hey, remember me? I've got 2 touchdowns tonight. And as we said, that last couple of times he's got the ball, he's had the most daylight he's had all night. So Suggs with 3 rushing touchdowns, Baylor Kelly with 2, Josh Maxwell with the reception, all equals to a Placer rout on a very, very important game. Pretty much could ostensibly lead them to be the league champion. Good hold that time. Looks like the kick is up, and it is good. Looks like they might have had West Park offside. Sisson coming in trying to make the block, but they're probably just going to decline the penalty. And with 6:48 to go, Placer leads this one 42-14. Yeah, Maxwell joining with another fine job as the holder. That one, as you mentioned, a little bit too high, and he did have a guy bearing down on him, whether he took off too early or not. And Ramirez puts it right through, giving Placer, giving that cushion back to him. And again, that targeting call was critical in that whole thing, because they had Placer where they wanted him, and they just gave him, took the foot off and let him up. It was 1st and 20. Yeah. And, going with the wind at your back, you got more to think about. Then you get the targeting call, and they go 2 plays after that, score a touchdown. They go to Maxwell, and then they go Suggs, and then the next play after that's Baylor Kelly in from 15. That Maxwell play has to have a name. There's got to be a Maxwell around, or a Maxwell house, or it's got to be something. Maxwell to the house is a good call. I know, Maxwell house. Maybe we'll call, but every time he goes to the house, there's a penalty, so we have to bring it back. Well, not that time. Nope. So he's run it 5 times. There's been a penalty on 2, so okay. 60%. This time it's Martinez Medina kicking. He kicks it high and deep. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies. You can find them online at auburntrophies.com. And again, a pretty good return this time by Chima. Chima brought down by Joyner at about the 35. And that's been one of the things tonight so far, Phantom. West Park's done a nice job on their kick returns. Why it was so important to, with the win, get the touchbacks.
Yeah, and I tell you, Chima and a couple of other times, I think Nialua and Lala, they don't go down the first hit. I mean, these are, kick returner guys, but they get hit and they stay on their feet and they go down and they get themselves some extra yardage.
6 minutes, 40 seconds to play in this ball game. Placer leading at 42-14. DeVell Barksdale, who came into the game with only 3 interceptions, has thrown 3 tonight. This time he's in the pocket, throws down the field, and almost threw his 4th. He was trying to go to Sisson down the sidelines, and he never saw the safety, Max Joyner, and Joyner almost had his 2nd interception of the season.
Yeah, great job closing by Max Joyner. He almost had it, but it looked like he got bumped in the head or something at the end. He was trying to get that one, but he came up there. He had that one the whole way. He was watching it from the safety spot.
He and Hanley are talking. Hanley saying, how you got to do it. You got to just high point it. I got 4 of these. You got 1.
Yeah.
Two outstanding seniors. They had their senior night last week against Nevada Union. Barksdale will operate from the 38. He'll give it to the running back up inside, a huge hole. Weston Wade who had the 61-yard touchdown run. Guess what? He's got another big pickup all the way down to the 37. And I know it's not what they're known for, but so far in the second half, it's been the rushing attack of the West Park Panthers that's been effective.
Yeah, those they've got them so spread out. A couple of missed tackles by a defensive back, and all of a sudden you've got 10 or 15 extra yards. That's what happened that time with Weston Wade. That's what happened the first time.
3 receivers set to the left. Ball's on the right hash. 1 receiver to the right. Barksdale operates from the shotgun. This time he has Weston Wade standing to his right. 6 minutes to play. They give it to Wade again. Wade's got a huge hole, cuts back and runs over the linebacker on the play all the way down to the 37. A good little pickup there, making the stop. Looks like it was Hunter DeRoche.
Yeah, it looks like that. They're going to play very soft against the run. They're going to let him go in. They're just trying to knock him down and run time off the clock, and that was a good tackle, but another good run by Wade.
Some fresh white jerseys on the Placer side. Why not? You're up 42-14. This time Barksdale calmly stands in the pocket. He hits Sisson on the little skinny post. Sisson breaks the tackle. Ball's knocked loose, and it looks like it might have been recovered in the end zone. If it is, they'll give him a touchdown. It's Marcus Chima, and that time, first, it will not be a touchdown throw by Barksdale. He threw it to Sisson. Sisson took it down to the 2, was trying to reach in the end zone. Ball got knocked loose, rolled in the end zone, and Marcus Chima recovered it in the end zone. So now, Phantom again, Placer wants to stop him, but West Park scores rather quickly to cut the lead in half, 42-20.
Yeah, that defense really stretched that time as far as got a couple of big runs, a couple of big chunks of yardage, and then that was a good pass and run by Sisson.
This time Vickers kicks it. It is up, and it is good. So it is 42-21, 5 minutes and 18 seconds to go, and you have to wonder if you're West Park with 3 timeouts.
Yeah, there's no wondering.
Stopped him.
There's no wondering. You got to come out here. You got a real talented kicker in Vickers. We saw last time he skidded one right across the turf, and so I'm sure they've practiced it a couple times out here, and you get some true bounces out here. I would just go ahead and drive it against those front guys of the Hillmen, and hopefully you get a bounce or somebody reaches down, tries to make a play, and it ricochets off them.
You're 9 weeks into the season. You've been practicing for 4 months. That's 13 weeks of practice. You know they have an onside kick in the arsenal. And as you mentioned, sometimes that hard line drive, it's somebody just standing in the first row, bounces off, and you're able to recover it.
Yeah, and like we said, he did this exact thing last time. He just did it a little bit right up the middle and didn't go after anybody. So let's see what they do. And as you say, they've got to do something now. 5:18 to go. You're down 3 scores. You've got to try to do something to turn the momentum and get yourself possession again.
Definitely have the hands team in now. As you see, Isaiah Hanley, Coastal Lexic, Landon Fowler. Baylor Kelly's the only one deep. So Vickers is going to line up this time. He's going to kick it from right to left. It'll actually be the second man through, and the onside kick. It executes well, but it falls forward, and it will be, it looks like They recovered it. Unbelievable. The kicker, Vickers, is the one that comes up with it.
Yeah, tremendous kick. It looked like it bounced and went toward, I thought it was covered by Hillmen, but the Panthers are signaling their way, and the referee's agreeing with them. So West Park going to get a chance here with 5:15 to go. Looks like about their 47-yard line.
The way that we saw it, it looked like Mason Yoakum was laying on the ball, but he was actually laying on Weston Wade. Joey Montoya is upset, saying that the ball was touched before 10 yards, but unfortunately it was touched by a Hillman
Yeah, I
before
think
10
so,
yards.
and it was a really good onside kick, too. It did a couple of low bounces and a kind of a bigger one that got to Placer, but didn't give him a good chance, a good opportunity to grab it.
Little misdirection. It was not the kicker, Vickers. It was Weston Wade who kicked it, and Vickers who recovered it. So Barksdale works out of the shotgun. This time he'll throw a quick screen. Picked up by Weston Wade. Wade breaks the tackle at the 40. He's down to the 30, the 20. Joyner tries to take him down all the way down to the 15. We do have an injured Panther laying at the 42 that looks like Jackson Moore, number 76. But, you know, with 5 minutes to go, Phantom, 42-21. This one's not over yet.
No, it's not over. And as we mentioned, they kind of spread it around, kind of like playing a looser defense, and that's allowing the runners, especially Wade, to get the chance to get some room to move. And you miss one tackle on that, and all of a sudden he's 20 yards downfield.
Jason Tenner is at the 40-yard line. He is staring at the Placer sideline and yelling at the coaching staff over there. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but the ref is holding him back, and the Placer coaches are being held back as he attends to his player. Nonetheless, the play was a great screen pass pickup. DeVell Barksdale threw it to Weston Wade, and Wade has been a dual threat. He came into the game with only 3 catches for 52 yards. He's had a couple catches tonight, but he's done some impressive things on the ground.
Yeah, like I said, he's been the weapon that they've used here in this fourth quarter when the defense has been stretched out, and Wade has really taken advantage of it. He's caused guys to miss, and he's broken a bunch of tackles.
And as Jason Tenner walks to the sideline, he continues to look back at the Placer sidelines and Coach Montoya. So I'm not sure exactly what happened. The injured player coming off is Jackson Moore, the sophomore, 6'4", 290. He just turned 15 this week.
Yeah, let's hope he's okay. He's moving. He's being assisted, but it looks like he's walking okay. Let's hope he is okay because, as you say, he's a prodigy.
Can't imagine what he's going to be like in 2 years with some weight rooms and things.
Yeah.
Well, nonetheless, it is 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. They've got it down inside the Placer red zone. Placer leads this one 42-21, just under 5 minutes to go. Barksdale's going to throw. He slides right, steps up, pulls it back, and he's going to be thrown down. And that is Colin Bray. Have a night, Colin Bray. That's the 4th time tonight that he has got in on Barksdale. But also give the Placer secondary a ton of credit as Barksdale had some time and had to pull it down.
Yeah, that's a kind of a coverage sack, but again, Colin Bray, you don't want to minimize what he is doing, but that is kind of a coverage sack as Barksdale had the whole field that he was surveying, and he had time, but nowhere to throw it to, and then Bray comes in.
4:25 to go, 2nd and 13. Ball spotted back at the 20. This time Barksdale's going to roll right. He's going to keep it. He does have a touchdown run on the night. He goes downhill, and he will be thrown out of bounds at the 10-yard line by Dominic Laidlaw, who closed. But because he got out of bounds, the clock will stop with 4:13 to go.
Yeah, good job by Placer to stretch that out. Barksdale, he's so quick that you look back and, if he finds a lane and finds an alley, he can be in that end zone in a second. So great job by the Placer defenders, the linebackers, the defensive backs to string that play out.
He's got the one rushing touchdown tonight, 15 yards out. Weston Wade with the other one, and Marcus Chima fell on the 3rd one. 3 receivers set left. Ball on the right hash. This time Barksdale sets up. Rolls left. He's under pressure. Cuts back. Breaks the tackle at the 10. Breaks the tackle at the 5. The ball is loose. And it looks like it's out. It looks like Placer might have it. The ref is running in from the side saying he's down at the 4. Let's see what the final verdict is.
It looked like he was still up when the ball came out.
It's hard to imagine the side judge over here came running in saying it was down, but he recovered it nonetheless. They're going to say 1st and goal all the way down to the 4-yard line. Correction, 5-yard line.
And they start the clock. It's under 4 minutes now, so every play you keep him out of the end zone, it takes time off the clock.
They go out of the shotgun, play action, throw to the flat, it's incomplete. They went to the tight end, Jordan Morris. They had two running backs in the backfield. They try to play action, a little waggle to the left, throw to Jordan Morris, and it was just rushed because of the pressure of the Placer Hillmen defense.
Yeah, a little surprised. I would think they just let Barksdale have his way and go out there and, option it, go left, go right, whatever he wants to do. And people seem to get uncovered when he's doing that.
Plus, Weston Wade's good for 6 or 7 yards every time he touches it. They have bunch formation to the right. They give it to Wade. He's got the corner. He runs to the left. Fantastic tackle coming up in the open field by number 5, Isaiah Hanley. Whenever you need a big play, Hanley seems to be the one that steps up. He had the interception in the first half. A great tackle right there.
Fantastic tackle. If he doesn't make the tackle, it's 6 points, probably 7 points. But what he did there, right, stopping the runner, keeping the clock going, it's going to be down close to under 3:20 when this next ball is snapped.
Ball is now back to the 7-yard line. It's 3rd and goal. 3 minutes to go. Placer leads this one 42-21, but West Park is threatening. Barksdale takes the snap, fakes it to Wade, rolls left. He's got a lot of real estate if he wants to run, and he will. He'll just jog into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the night. Kind of jogged all the way that time. Ball was on the right hash. Good play action to Wade. He takes it in, and now it's 42-27.
Yeah, he did that so casually that the fans of West Park didn't even react when he crossed the goal line because he was just so casual. He was out for a stroll, and now obviously everything boils down to this next onside kick.
Under 3 minutes to play. Placer leading this one 42-27, pending the extra point by Cade Vickers, who hasn't missed one yet this year. Bad snap, good hold, and they almost blocked it. Nonetheless, it's good. So with 2 minutes and 56 seconds to go, Phantom, it's Placer 42 and West Park 28.
Yeah, and Placer obviously needs to get this next onside kick. West Park still with all 3 of their timeouts, which they will call if they do not get the onside kick, obviously. But this one is the key. West Park got the last one moved down very easily, with Weston Wade being kind of the star of the drives. But right now it's up to Placer again. Joey Montoya sends his guys out there and says, all you got to do is deliver for me, is catch the ball, and we got this one.
21-7 at halftime, Placer led. They led this one 42-14. Put in some of their backups, gave up a quick touchdown, and then gave up the onside kick. So now it's 42-28, and West Park has all of their timeouts. Hans' team is on the field as Placer knows an onside kick is coming their direction.
They seem to be moving it over towards the left side of the field on their side. Let's see if West Park maybe turns it around and tries to go the other way with it.
The last time it was Vickers who missed the kick, and it was actually Weston Wade who kicked it. So they'll see which direction they go this time. It is again Weston Wade who kicks it to the left side. Ball rolls loose, and that time Placer got it. Nice job by the Hans team. Both times Cade Vickers was used as the decoy, and so Placer up 42-28 with 2:56 to go. We'll have the ball at the 49 with a chance to run the clock out.
Yeah, you figure they're going to use the timeouts as soon as possible. They're going to try to get the stops now. If Placer can get one first down, and that should be able to do it and run the clock out. They made the big play on the onside kick, and now let's see if they can go ahead. And they've dominated the line of scrimmage all night long, Scott, so let's see if they can do it for another 2 minutes, and it might be enough.
They've had 7 drives. They've scored 6 touchdowns. Josh Maxwell has 1 through the air. Baylor Kelly has 2 on the ground, and Jaden Suggs has 3. And they're going to take as much time as they want. They have the ball at the 49 on the right hash, going right to left on your radio dial. Craycraft breaks the huddle, gives it to the big back Suggs. No, that's Baylor Kelly around the edge. A flag flies. The second back through was Kelly. He picked up 4, but let's see what the penalty is.
And that's, if it's on Placer, obviously you don't want to stop the clock, and that would be terrible, but that has been what's happened so far offensively. A flag like that has meant holding.
That is their 5th holding penalty, Phantom, the 10th penalty of the night.
And it also means that West Park doesn't have to use their timeouts, and Placer's got to go ahead and try to get a first down. Now it's going to be about a 1st and 18 or 1st and 20.
Well, as soon as they do set the ball, they will run the clock. So nonetheless, it doesn't kill it.
Well, then they should probably take all the time in the huddle. As much time as they can, they should just take it in the huddle.
Well, they have 40 seconds to run a play. In this case, they should be advised to take their time. They don't. They break the huddle quickly. They give it to Jaden Suggs. Suggs breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage, takes it up to the 45. He picks up about 4 or 5. And a quick timeout by West Park. To your point, there was an opportunity where they really could have run an additional 30 seconds off. Nonetheless, there's 2 minutes and 28 seconds to play. Placer leading at 42-28.
I would only think that they're so confident in their offensive line, and also that they have this, you've talked about many times, they have a kind of a rhythm they play with. And they don't want to get out of that rhythm and go like artificial, this isn't the way we play. We play by getting up to the line of scrimmage. Now, you and I are old people. So we would say take all the time off the clock that you can, and you know that they're going to go ahead and pull out their timeouts on the next 3 plays.
2nd and 14. They do have the wind if they decide to kick it for a directional kick. They do have the wind at their back. So Placer has it at their own 44 on the right half, 2nd and 15. 2:28 to play. They go on the end around play this time to Isaiah Hanley. Hanley smartly stays in bounds and goes low. Picks up 3. They've run that play 6 times tonight. 4 times to Maxwell. 5 times to Maxwell. Twice to Hanley. But you got to give the senior credit. He knew not to run out of bounds. He picked up about 2 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd and 12. And
it also means that West Park's got to take another timeout, so they're just going to have 1 timeout left with 2:15 to go.
So, Phantom, let's set it here. It's 42-28 in favor of Placer. They came in 8-0 with a 3-0 record. For West Park, they trailed at one point in this game, 42-14. They scored 14 unanswered, went for the onside kick, did not get it. Placer now has it at the 47-yard line. It's 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13. I think you and I would both be shocked if we see this ball go up in the air. This will probably be a running play to force West Park to use that last timeout.
Right, and with the situation, and we'll find out how many yards they get on this running play, whether they're going to go ahead and make it 4-down territory or not. And because the first down effectively would end the game.
They break the huddle. No receiver set left. 3 in the backfield. They give it to the second back through. No, they do go play action, and they throw it to Costa Alexic, and it falls incomplete. He was wide open. Would have been a touchdown. Would have put the nail in the coffin, but now you've got 4th and 12 at the 47, and because they threw a pass, West Park preserves the timeout, and Jackson Ramirez runs on the field. You got to think this is going to be a directional kick.
It's going to be a kick. He's got the wind, as you pointed out, at his back, which is good, of course, and a situation like that was a play where you go, well, they called the play, and he was wide open. Yeah, but you got to go ahead and make the play.
Alexic would have been open for the touchdown. That would have been the nail in the coffin. Now, with 2:07 to go and a timeout, Placer leading by 14, has to punt it. 2 receivers deep. He's got plenty of time. Gets his leg into it. It's an end-over-end kick. It'll be caught by Sisson at the 25. He's got a whole host of area to go, and he runs into Placer territory. He's pushed out of bounds at the 48-yard line. It's Enzo Gallo who pushes him out of bounds, but essentially they have the ball where Placer would have had it at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it was a directional kick, but it ended up right in front, right where the short guy was situated, and he was, give Sisson credit, he went right up the field within, picked up about 25 yards from where he got it, so great field position with just under 2 minutes to go.
Sisson, just a junior, runs it right out of bounds. Ball's at the 46. Barksdale back to pass. He's going to roll up. He rolls to the right, throws it downfield. He's got a receiver, makes an adjustment. He catches it. Touchdown. Weston Wade, the running back. Are you kidding me?
And it was a situation where it looked like he was just throwing it up for grabs. You look downfield, and there's 2 West Park receivers behind the defense, and he got it to Weston Wade.
Unbelievable. At 5 minutes to go in this game, Phantom, it was 42-14 Placer. And now they have run off 20 unanswered points. The extra point, if it's good, cuts this to a 42-35 game.
And then we'll get another onside kick, so we got to be ready
Ball
for that.
Ball is down, kick is up. It is good. So with 1 minute and 46 seconds to play, Placer leads this 42-35, a game they had in hand with 5 minutes to play, 42-14.
And the long pass play necessitated using keeping that other timeout. Now that one timeout won't really matter. I mean, it all comes down right now to the onside kick. If Placer can recover it, they'll be able probably to pretty much run out the clock.
Barksdale has rushed for 2 touchdowns. That was his first touchdown pass, and he was just kind of rolling around the line of scrimmage. You weren't sure he was going to take off or not. But what he did is he allowed his running back, Weston Wade, to sneak behind coverage. He made a great adjustment on the catch. He went into the end zone, and Weston Wade has 2 touchdowns on the night. He's just a junior. Sisson's just a junior. See these guys again next year.
Yeah, we're seeing now in the last couple of minutes, the last quarter or so, how West Park got to this point. They're showing that what brought them to a 7-0 season so far, with some incredible plays with Wade, with Sisson, and with obviously Barksdale.
Crowd on their feet on both sides. No doubt the onside kick. Only one player back deep for Placer. That's Baylor Kelly. Here comes the onside. Good high kick and roll, and it rolls loose. And it looks like Joyner falls on it. They got the second hop that they wanted, but it rolled away, and Joyner has it. And now with 1:44 to go and just one timeout, you get the sense Placer's going to be able to run the clock out, provided they don't turn the ball over.
Exactly, and I'll tell you, if you're a professional team or a college team and you want to find out how to do onside kicks, I would give these West Park guys a call, because that was another good one. It went off the hands of a Placer player who knocked it forward, and Joyner, who we talk about all the time, all the contributions he makes to this team, made another big one here tonight.
The senior captain who's played quarterback, played receiver, he holds extra points, and that kickoff, of course, is brought to you by AuburnTrophies.com. So here they come. They give it inside. They give it to the sophomore Baylor Kelly. Kelly, with 2 arms wrapped around the ball, picks up 8 yards on first down, and a very quick timeout by Jason Tenner, the head coach of West Park. That's the last one. So there'll be 1 minute and 32 seconds to go. Really, 3 snaps is all Placer needs to take. They do need to pick up that first down.
Yeah, they've got about 2 yards to go. You get the first down, and then you can just kneel down on it. And if you go ahead and run this play, the second down play, then you take the 40 seconds and run the third down play and take the 40 seconds. It pretty much takes all the time off the clock. So, as you mentioned, Baylor Kelly wrapping that ball up, that's the most important thing right now for the Hillmen, to get out here and escape with a game they had pretty much in hand for about, I would say, about 43 minutes or so.
Absolutely. Well, the first drive of the second half, they carried it for over 8 minutes and went up 28-7. They led by 21 and then led 42-14 with 5 minutes to go. Now you look at the scoreboard, it's 42-35. Nonetheless, if Placer's able to pick up these 3 yards, West Park is out of timeouts. Interesting the back they choose to go to. It's not Costa Alexic or Jaden Suggs. It's the sophomore Baylor Kelly who ran with both arms wrapped around the ball. He came in with the leading rusher, 902 yards on the season. He has 12 rushing touchdowns. They break the huddle this time. Turn, they give it to Jaden Suggs. Suggs bounces over, and he looks like he has the first down. And Joey Montoya gives the first down signal, and his arms are raised over his head, and Placer picks up the first down, and they only need to snap it one more time. And Phantom, it looks like Placer is going to win this one 42-35.
Yeah, they won it, and they played great for, like we said, up until about the last 5 minutes, and then West Park put the scare of their lifetime in them, and they made just enough plays to hold them off down the stretch. Some things that Joey's going to talk to him about, but I got a feeling he's going to be super happy about this game, and that's going to be the overwhelming thing on his mind.
Victory formation. Craycraft takes the snap. He's going to need to do that one more time for the Hillmen tonight. 42 points. Jaden Suggs with 3 touchdowns. Josh Maxwell with 1. 2 on the ground by Baylor Kelly. A big night by Josh Maxwell. He has emerged as the new weapon on that reverse play they ran 5 times. This will be the last snap of the game. They take it, they put the knee down, the 2 teams line up to shake hands, and just like you'd expect, Two undefeated teams gave us a heck of a show tonight, Phantom.
A tremendous show, and as I said before, you can see why West Park is 7-0. You can see the talent that they have. You can see the perseverance that they had, the resilience they had. You know, all they needed was one little moment of optimism, and they came right back in and made this a huge game. And if Maxwell Joyner doesn't fall on that ball, who knows what could have happened. So a great win for the Hillmen. It's good if you can have a good loss. It's a good loss for West Park, and if things work out the way they think, we think they will, they'll have a really high seed in Division 4.
I knew this handshake would be pretty interesting, as Tenor and Montoya are both emotional guys, and they shook hands, and they're talking at the middle of the field, and now they're patting each other on the shirt, but they are still talking. Something happened late in the fourth quarter that Tenor was not happy about.
Yeah, the injury, I think, to the big tackle you were talking about, and hopefully, bottom line, we hope he is okay and able to come back next week. And it looks like, yeah, they will, they'll agree to disagree out there. I think that's what's going to happen.
Hey, two guys we know that are emotional, that like to win, and for Coach Montoya, who has been waiting, he said, I've been waiting for this game for 12 months during the KAHI Coaches Show. And now you've got some players just shaking hands, a lot of respect. This was for the league championship. And Placer right now, an absolutely huge win on the road. They take their 8-0 record, 3-0 in league. They now ran it to 9-0 and 4-0. And Placer wins this one 42-35 as they run over to their crowd and go with their cheerleaders and fans who came down here to this beautiful facility. And Placer wins it.
Yeah, Placer wins it 42-35. They go to 9-0. They've got one little obstacle to go. They've got Oakmont next week on the road. But we talked to Joey Montoya early in the season. He said, I got the trifecta. I got Vista, I've got Lincoln, and I've got West Park on the road, and that's what I'm pointing for. And you've got to think at some point, Scott, that the preseason schedule, the strength of that schedule really helped the Hillmen out here tonight.
And really, they only had to punt one time. Their offensive line, you mentioned it, the preseason schedule, scheduling Casa, scheduling Roseville. Obviously, they had the game with Vista. They won those 3 games. They were in close games. We talked about it. Yep. How would West Park respond in a close game? I'll tell you what, they actually showed a lot of heart in this fourth quarter.
No, they didn't respond well in a close game early, but they sure made it a close game later. And we talked about, and you mentioned, they've got a bunch of juniors. They came back. They were resilient. Once they got a little bit of positivity out there, they really fed on that, and their crowd got way into it, which is exactly what they should have done. But bottom line, Placer comes out here in a game they had to win on the road, and they come out and they win the game.
For West Park, DeVell Barksdale, Weston Wade, Julian Nuilala, Ryan Sisson, Marcus Chima, their 5 athletes played a pretty good game, but really this game was won and lost at the line of scrimmage. We talked about it at the outset, the trifecta, the running backs, the offensive line. The first half, Phantom, Placer had the ball 4 times. They scored on 3 of them. Had their quarterback not stayed in bounds, they probably could have scored the 4th time. They didn't punt till the 4th quarter.
Right. When you look at it, at the time, it was an important play, but now, looking at the final score, the vital play, the interception in the end zone, when West Park had the ball first and goal on the 10-yard line, they tried to corner the end zone pass, and when Placer knocked it away, picked it off, brought it back out, but that wasn't the important part. The important part, that's 7 points they didn't get, and you don't know if things play out the same way, but that's the 7 points that made the difference in this one.
I think it's safe to say the 2 defensive players of the game for Placer, probably Colin Bray with the 4 sacks and Isaiah Hanley with the open field tackling and the interception.
Absolutely. Fantastic job. And we talked about this on the coaches show, Scott. We said, hey, the stars have to come out and be stars. Well, in the end, Barksdale was a star, and as you talked about, Bray and Isaiah Henley and Jaden Suggs, all the stars stepped up for the Hillmen as well.
Looked like every time Coastal Lexic had the ball, we were arguing whether it was 6, 7, or 8 yards. He did a great job.
That's just because we're not very mature.
That's right, we are. Well, that's why we have fun. Jaden Suggs, 3 touchdown runs. Baylor Kelly, 2 touchdowns. Josh Maxwell, 3 carries on the new reverse play, the new wrinkle that we saw, and the touchdown catch. Placer ends this one 42-35 to run their record to 9-0.
Yeah, what a game, and we wish West Park well in the playoffs. I know they'll do well. You want everybody in the FBL to do well. Lincoln with a big win over Ponderosa last night. It looks like they'll also qualify for the playoffs, so we'll have at least 3 teams. And I wasn't surprised when you gave the score for Nevada Union after watching those guys last week. I think they'll probably win out as well, and maybe they'll eke themselves into the playoffs. So FBL teams shown out real good, but we saw the 2 best teams in the league tonight, and we saw a game. Eventually, it turned out a game that was befitting those 2 teams.
Well, Phantom, we'll get a chance to talk about this game again on the KAHI Coaches Show
boy.
this week.
Oh, boy.
We sure will. We want to thank Brad for parking 2 miles away and setting us up with a bunch of wires I don't know what to do with. Our engineer does a fantastic job. Mike Ramey back in the studio giving you your updates and keeping us on course. For Mark Phantom Lowe, this is Scott Gordon signing off. Your Placer Hillmen run their record to 9-0. They beat the West Park Panthers 42-35.
Thank you for joining KAHI for tonight's game. We'd like to thank our sponsors who support Hillmen football. Depot Bay Coffee, Keith Thomas State Farm Insurance, the Roseville Auto Mall, Mackey Heating and Air of Auburn, Meritage Auto Care, Mills Diner of Auburn, Robinson Sand and Gravel, Sierra Moon in Old Town, Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, Auburn Ford, and Auburn Trophies. We'll see you next Friday for Hillmen football on KAHI.
Barksdale's going to throw. He slides right, steps up, pulls it back, and he's going to be thrown down. And that is Colin Bray. This time Barksdale to throw, and he is taken down. Ball comes loose. It's Colin Bray. Third time tonight that he beat the tackle around the end. A big first down stop by Eric Ridardi's defense. 1:47 to play in the third quarter. Placer leading at 27-7. Barksdale this time back to pass. He's looking left the whole way. Hit as he throws. It's intercepted. That looks like number 6 goes to Alexis. Third interception of the night, but really the interception is caused because Barksdale was under pressure. Hit as he's thrown. The third interception for the Placer Hillmen. First down for Placer. They'll turn. This is the end around to Maxwell again. This time there's no flag. He takes it past the 40, the 35, breaks the tackle, got it all the way down to the 30-yard line. We'll give it to Baylor Kelly on the sweep. He breaks the tackle. He's going to go into the end zone for his second touchdown of the night.